Hello and thank you for staying with me. It's now time to give you the final update of the layout for 2018. So what have I been up to? Oh, let's go and have a look. So here we are now at the layout, and in front of you you can see the Great Santa Express that's brought Christmas to Barnabas Junction, and as you can see it's nicely decorated for the festive season with its very own Christmas tree. Delightful. So what have I been up to since the last update? Well, to start with, after visiting the Hatton's Model Railway shop for their open day, I did manage to pick up the point motor which I was in need to complete this section here, and is now operational. I'll show you. You see both points move now. And I've got them on one switch, so there's no need for a second switch on the control panel. As with if that one's switched to go that way, like so, then if using this line, then obviously that would need to be switched into that position. So I put it together so those would switch together, allowing the trains to run out from the head shunt, which I have also all scenicked up. Still not finished there with that area. Still lots more to go in it, to be added to it, with some additional stuff that I got from the Worley Model Railway exhibition in November. So look out for that in the future. I've also put in this strip on the front of the platform to aid just covering up the edge of the wood for the platform. Just adds that little extra touch. That is removable, and it just pulls out if I need to pull it out, which is quick and easy. Another thing that I have done is the platform lighting has now been modernised, improved, or should I say. LED lights, courtesy of advice from Richard at New Junction. So thank you to Richard over that for helping me get the ones that would be best suited. They are LED strips. I've taken out the old incandescent bulbs and replaced with these LED strips, and they do look so much better, a much crisper light. They are warm white LEDs, and were very easy to fit. No resistance required, as they're already pre-resisted. And also, and I'll take you on, I've replaced the lighting also underneath there, but in doing so I also made some minor modifications to that too. The first modification is obviously I've added the lights. Two of the strip lights there, which will receive some coverage of sorts in time. But you may also notice that the archway is now missing, which used to be between the two main lines. If you look carefully, you may just see where it used to be. I decided to take that out as I felt that it was blocking views of the trains passing through the station. But obviously, with taking that out, I needed to add additional support for the top area. So I had these. These are track supports for overhead, for upper level track on your model railway by Hornby. I had a box full of these just knocking about spare, and I thought, I think that might look quite good. So there's three that are sitting on the platforms, and they were the perfect height. And then this one here in front of you, as you can see, has got one of the level ones upside down attached to the main level 4. That's what these are, level 4s. And this will have some greenery and stuff just to hide the join between the two eventually. Some overgrown weeds and stuff. So that, to me, is a huge improvement. But in doing all that, I also had to repair some of the street lighting, which was here on the top level. I went and broke some of the wires accidentally when I was doing the board strengthening underneath, and I never got round to actually repairing them. So in doing all this, I thought it was time to repair them. But what I wanted to do was hide the wiring, which was obviously comes through the board and underneath. And as you might be able to tell without blinding you, there is no visible cables, and not even for the LED strip lighting. And that's because I put a piece of mount board, and if you look carefully you can just see where that bit's there, bowing. Piece of mount board, black mount board to match the board above, and that nicely hides all the wiring underneath, which does improve the sight greatly. One final thing I've yet to do in this, and I'll show you with this. This is an example. I think this might be a bit too big. I might get the thinner type. I'm going to get some of this strut work and spray them grey and have them placed along the edge to help hide the edge of the mount board. So I think once that's in, it'll look very good. I'm really impressed with the idea on that. Obviously here won't require that, but what I will do is just put a little tiny strip of card just to hide that edge and blend it in a little bit more better. Also, another main thing that I've been working on is some track work. Well, not necessarily track work, but stuff that I got from the Alsager Model Railway exhibition, which is my local exhibition. I've got 2 packets of this. This is the 10 Commandments cable trunking packs. I've got 2 packs of these. I've used about 3/4 of 1 pack so far. And what I've done is I've had to take out some of the ballast to get them to go in, and I've laid it along the track side to go for the points. Still unfinished, as I'm awaiting some dummy point motors for the points, but you can sort of see that I've put the under track cabling under the lines. That was supplied courtesy of Jamie at Pennyhill Junction. Thank you very much, Jamie, for sending that over. It certainly is great cabling for what is required. So what I've been doing is this whole side of the layout has been done. You'll notice that the ballast is a different colour, and that's because it's dry, fresh ballast. When it's glued down, it will change to match the rest. But I've also gone along. Cable trunking is done all the way along here. And then also goes across the lines. That's waiting to be stuck down there. And then we go all the way along. That coming across there for that point. Apologies for the shaky camera. That one for that point, and that continues on to that point just there. Now what you might notice is that looks a different colour just up to there, and that's because I've been having a play about with weathering techniques that I've learnt courtesy of Tim of the Scrapline Model Railway Weathering channel. Tim has been an absolute star in advising me on weathering techniques, as I've never done this at all, ever. So with his priceless advice, I had a go at weathering at weathering this trunking, and as you can see, all that lot's been done, as well as all the way around to the station, and that's still yet to be done there. So that's what it looks like new, and that's what it looks like weathered. Does definitely look brilliant, and I'll be doing a video very soon on how I've done that, so look out for that in the future. But what I've also been doing, and I had some issues with, when I come to do this area here, these 2 points where the branch line connects with the main line and then continues off into the country, I was having some issues with these 2 points here, where the centre of this point was actually squashed down too far, so it was dipping down and then going back up again. So with doing all this, I thought I would sort that issue out, and it's now perfectly flat, and surprisingly it was nearly a centimetre of a dip. That's quite a lot. I was quite shocked. You can't really see, I'll just try and show you, you can't really see actually how far, because the ballast is covering over a lot of it now, a lot of the gap. But obviously you may know that these already had point motors fitted to them and been fitted for quite some time, but because the points have now been lifted up, unfortunately the pins obviously don't reach the points, so sadly I need 2 new point motors to be fitted back into there. So these 2 point motors here will be surplus to requirements. Maybe for a future project I'll be able to use them there. So I'll just take you over to the products I used from Tim's advice on how I've weathered those cable trunkings. So here I am now showing the items used just for that weathering. As I said, I will do a video on how that was done, but just to show you prior, obviously these are the cable trunking packs by 10 Commandments that I got. Very, very good these are. Lots and lots of pieces in there. Highly recommend these. I was advised that these are probably the most realistic you can get. I do have one there which I'd use as a practice piece to weather up. That had a mild weathering, and then I went on to obviously do the ones that are on the layout themselves. But simply all I needed was this Humbrol matte coat, a brush, and these. Now I did attempt to get some weathering powders, but unfortunately the ones required were out of stock. So I was advised by Tim to get some pastels. Now these are really cheap pastels. These were only £3 this full pack from Hobbycraft, and as you can see, I can just get them out. I have been using the brown one, I've been using the black and of the green at the moment, and I've had a quick go with a few of the others. This is the one I've mainly been using for the cable trunking. As you can see, it's been scraped, and basically all I needed to use was a craft knife, scraped along the pastel to create a dust, and went on from there. So look out for the video on how I've done that coming up very soon, maybe in 2019, but I'm really pleased. So major thanks to Tim with all your advice on how I did those, and really pleased with the results. So the final thing to show you here at Barnabas Junction is this parcel that arrived recently. So what is in it? Let's take you and have a look. It is a Pico engine shed. As you can see, the box is there. And this has come courtesy of Jamie at Penny Hill Junction, who is undergoing a layout change and feels that this is no longer suitable for his new design. So it was offered to myself and I duly snapped it up, as it'll look fantastic for a future project which will be taking place here hopefully during 2019. The rear of it is still open, as Jamie had originally planned to put multiple of these together for as a HST shed, and the remaining parts are within the box inside there. So many thanks to Jamie for that. If you haven't seen his video on why he's no longer having that, along with how things are changing at Penny Hill Junction, I'll pop a link up in the corner for you now. Visit his channel, give him a sub and click the bell and have a look at what's going on with the all new Penny Hill Junction. So there you go, that's your update for the end of 2018. Yes, the last update of this year. Lots more updates hopefully planned for 2019, with lots more ideas and developments to be taking place here on the layout. I'd like to thank every single one of you, all your subscribers out there that supported me along the way, all the new ones that have come on board, pardon the pun, to the channel in recent weeks. Thank you very much for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. Big thank you to all of you, new and old, for supporting me throughout 2018. I hope you'll stay with me and support me again through 2019 with all the future ideas that are going to be taking place here at the layout. So that's it. That's it for 2018. Sad to see it go. It's been an absolutely amazing year for the hobby, for myself and the layout. So without further ado, Merry Christmas and a very prosperous New Year to one and all. Thank you very much.